Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. You know, it's that time of the year where the seasons are beginning to change. It's not as humid. The days are getting shorter. And, hey, it's what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm embracing it. It's just that the days are getting shorter. But the weather's great.
Yeah, the weather is great. And speaking of great, we've got a great show today. Some of the things we're going to be talking about is an interview that you did with Norris Christian in his new book.
Yes, very good interview.
Right. And we also have a segment about getting out there on your bike. It's still time, so we went out to Middletown Cycling. And we also have an interview with our partner, LG&E. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Cycling is more than just getting from one place to another. It's healthy, social, good for the environment, and anyone can do it. We at Middletown love cycling and really love helping others discover a new passion. Stop in today and let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you get started. We cater to beginners as well as experienced cyclists. We're a local business that cares about our community because we are a part of the community. Come in today and get on a bicycle that fits your needs and improve your lifestyle.
So, Denise, tell us about the first segment you did with Norris Christian. I know you all have a long history.
Yes, we do. Norris Christian used to be my math teacher in junior high, but he was a very, very young teacher straight out of college. But he has written a book about being an entrepreneur and going into business and the right principles for success. And let's just take a look. You know, success is a word that we all want to have in whatever the endeavor is that we are pursuing. But today, I have the honor to introduce to you an author of this really great book that we're going to talk about. His name is Norris Christian. Norris, welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Glad to see you.
Yes, now Norris and I have a history because he used to be my math teacher. So I used to say Mr. Christian, and now I can just say Norris Christian. And, you know, you've had a really successful career. Worked for the state, sort of in finance, and you have a successful tax business dealing with finance. So let's talk about this book that you've written, because I find it very interesting and a nice tool that's going to help a lot of people. So let's go ahead and about this book.
Okay, what happened is I worked with state government for like 29 years, and during that time I provided a consultant to individuals that want to start their own small business.
Okay.
But it was all from the secular side. I could not talk about anything else. So when I retired, I said, well, what am I going to do? So I decided to combine my experience with state government, working and providing consulting to small businesses. But also, I had spent a lot of time in church.
Oh, I forgot about that aspect, too, with finances in church.
So I said, how can I combine those two? So what I decided to do was, I knew all the steps in putting together a business, okay? So, but then what I decided to do was to incorporate with those steps biblical scriptures that would support those steps in the planning and expanding your business.
So I know that with the businesses that you have had, you're an entrepreneur yourself. Are you saying that you always relied and incorporated in your planning scriptures that help navigate you? Does that make sense?
Yes, personally I did.
Okay.
But from a professional standpoint, I couldn't do that because state government would not allow you to mix religion and those kind of things together. So, but now that I'm retired, I can start do what I want to. So what I decided to do was to research the different scriptures that I feel like would substantiate and provide guidance to the different steps in planning the business. And so to give you an example, one of the things I usually talk about, which is very simple, nobody like to pay taxes,
Right.
but according to the scriptures, it's, paraphrasing, it said, pay to Caesar what is due Caesar.
Right.
So we have to pay taxes.
Right. So the name of this book, Starting and Managing Your Small Business Based on the Scriptures and Godly Assistance. What are some 3 big tools in the book that you think that would help people right off the bat?
Well, I think the 3 best tools, one would be to do research, to research the kind of business you want to start.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is to do a business plan, okay? And because, like I said, you have to have a foundation for your business. And, in the Bible, it was talked about that a house that is built on a weak foundation will not stand. But if you got a good foundation, then the house will survive. By the same token, if you got a good business plan, then it should survive, okay? And the third thing that I like to talk about is mentoring. If you're in business, you never been in business before, you need to have a good mentor that can give you some guidance on how to run your business.
Because I know a lot of people just get the idea and they just go for it by the seat of their pants and say, I want to do this. And would you say these are the three biggest components as to why there's a lot of failure for those who want to go into business for themselves?
Okay, my thought that I had was that you should do things out of preparation, which is planning, and not out of desperation. You know, sometimes people say they lose their job or they get fired, and terminated is a better word, but they say, oh, I'm going to start my own business because they're desperate. But if you plan for it, then you have the opportunity to be a little bit more successful. Because normally they said about 2 out of 3 businesses fail during the first few years. So the failure rate for starting a small business is very high. So you need to plan.
When you plan, should you do research in regards to what type of business or service it is that you have, and how do you know if it makes sense or not?
Okay, you should do research, but you're going to start a business. I think there are 3 things that should come into play. You know, one is your education. You know, what have you been educated to do? The other thing is what are your experience in life that can correlate and help you to start your own business. And then the third thing might be just look at your hobby. You got a good hobby? Like I like dealing with figures.
Okay.
So I do income tax.
Right. Yeah.
But
and do them very well.
Thank you. But I've been doing it for about 50 years now. So, but I like dealing with figures.
Well, Denise, that was a great piece. He offered some very just common sense factual information that we can all use.
But I think if that's the guide for your life and biblical scriptures and guidelines, you can never fail.
No,
I mean, basically, because a lot of other principles you read books on are still goes back to these same core ones that he mentioned.
Right, and we always need boundaries, we need guidance, we need things that just kind of keep us on the right path.
Structure, boundaries, and order.
You're correct.
We'll take a book.
We'll take another break and back with more right after this.
We're more than an energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
As you know, every month we do a segment with LG&E because they just tell us so much great information, and this month is no different, so take a look at this piece. Well, it's September, and it's time for another Energy Matters segment with LG&E, and I'm here with Natasha Collins. Welcome back. Always great catching up.
Yes, good to be with you today.
And one of the things we're going to be talking about today are scams, because unfortunately we know that's something that happens all the time. Regardless of the profession, regardless of the field, there's always someone who's trying to get over. And I'm sure with the utility company, you all see a lot of that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There always exists a baseline of scams. There are always people out there who are looking to perpetrate these scams on unsuspecting customers with the hope that they'll surrender usually their personal information or maybe even surrender some dollars in one way or another. So we always want to make sure that we have these tips that are available for customers. They're on our website, they're on our social channels. If you contact us, our customer service representatives, they can also provide information. But we wanted to take an opportunity in this conversation today with you, Max, to talk to you and everybody who's watching about how they can protect themselves from falling victim to scammers.
All right, so let's go through some of the tips.
Yeah, we have tips that are called our safe tips. And the first one is to secure your personal information. When we say that, what we mean is that at LG&D and KU, we will never call you asking for you to provide us with your credit card or debit card number or any of your other personal information. We'll never call you asking for that. So secure your personal information. Don't give that information up easily.
So that way we know if someone is calling you, it is not LG&E. And
Just asking for that information, exactly right. Mhm.
all right. So what's the second tip?
The second tip in our safe tips is to always remember that you have bill payment options. We offer a variety of ways for customers to officially pay their bill. You can find those ways on our website. You can give us a call in our call center, 502-589-1444, and we can let you know all of the official ways that you can pay your bill. But that's just important to remember, because a lot of times what we see in just across our service territories, or as we communicate with utilities both in the U.S. and in Canada, is that one of the markers of a scam is that they request your personal information. They also request that you pay them within typically a certain period of time, or they make a threat to disconnect your service. And so just remember that you always have different ways to pay your bill, and it's important to remember that.
Right. And as you said, you've got something in place for every customer experience, every customer type.
Yes, that's exactly right. Also, one of our tips is to if you're suspicious, first check with LG&D and KU. That's because, like I said, we offer a number of different ways to officially pay your bill. Sometimes you'll see with some of these scams, they offer a number, and when you call the number, it sounds a lot like what our voice system would sound like, or they come up on your caller ID and it looks like it would be your utility. If you're in doubt, if you're suspicious, hang up. Get the official contact information for your utility, in this case LG&D or KU, and give us a call directly.
That's great information. And what's next on the list?
Yes, the last tip is to enlist the help of authorities. If you believe, we work with authorities as well, but if you believe that you have fallen victim to a scam, or even if you've been made to feel uncomfortable or threatened in a way that is a concern to you, enlist the help of authorities to let them know that you may have fallen victim to a scam, if that's the case, or also, again, if you feel threatened, because authorities actually, they, while we will work with them on the particular scams, you have to notify authorities if there's something that's happened and you have fallen victim.
And so really and truly the best thing to do is, if you feel like you might be a person who's going to be potentially scammed, if you don't feel comfortable, the best thing to do is to call LG&E and make sure that that number is validated through going through the proper channels.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And just like you said at the beginning, there is always a baseline of scams taking place. Just recently, my parents, who aren't in state, don't have LG&D and KU as their utility, they were telling me how they were approached, and they called me. They didn't fall victim. And that was good, but I said, you know what? No, that was definitely a scam. They were being threatened to be disconnected, and they knew that their account was up to date. So a lot of times people know, they have an inkling. Just follow your gut. If you feel suspicious, if you feel like things are not safe, then follow that. You can always hang up and just talk to somebody directly, which is the best course, just as you mentioned.
And that's great information. Just speaking of LG&E in general, it's been a very hot summer, and I guess now we're in a very hot, what are we in now? Are we in fall yet?
Not yet. We will be. Well, by the time at the point where I believe we will just about be in fall. But yeah, fall is approaching. Doesn't feel like it though. But yeah, we all need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be mindful of saving energy, which helps us to save money as well. And we'd say, make sure that you're doing those necessary things as we move into fall. Even though we all should make sure that our systems are in proper working order. But as we move into fall, it's a great kind of reminder to just say, let me give a call to a professional, have them check out my heating and cooling system, make sure things are ready to go, make sure that you're ready for the cooler weather as it approaches, and then of course do those things like seal up all of the leaks and gaps around your home, because we talk a lot about that in the cooler weather. So that's what people expect to do. But year round, really, if you've got air conditioning that can escape, or you've got cold weather that can get in, that means you have a leak or gap that you need to make sure you seal up in your home. So all of that envelope of your home, as we call it, around the doors, around the windows, even make sure the ductwork is sealed up sufficiently so that you're getting the most efficient use out of your system.
Well, as always, great information. And if someone wants to find out more, how can they reach you?
Yeah, give us a call. Our number is 502-589-1444. Our customer care representatives are standing by, always able to assist and ready to assist. And we're also on the web with a lot of information and on social channels as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out whenever you need us.
It's always a pleasure catching up with them, because they just give us so much vital information that can help you in your daily life. And at the end of the day, it helps you to make better decisions.
But the information has value, and thanks to those of you who even come up and say, hey, I like these tidbits and information that comes in from LG&E, because we pay our bill, but they're giving something back, and you find it quite valuable.
You're correct. We'll take another break and back with more right after this.
More than an energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during a storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We're more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving you.
You know, another one of our partners is Ivy Brita with
Yes.
State Farm Insurance. So, Ivy, what do you have for us this week?
Hi, I'm Ivy, back today with another financial segment. Today we're going to talk about 2 words. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it, but only a few people have it. What am I talking about? An emergency fund. I know. Everybody knows they need it. You've heard it time and time again. You need enough expenses to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's a lot of money, and it's really hard for a lot of people to do. So today I'm going to share with you a couple of tips on why you need an emergency fund and a couple of ways that you can get started with it. So an emergency fund is money that's set aside for what I call true emergencies, not the shopping trip for the event that you're going to, but for things like job loss, the car needs new tires, or the refrigerator breaks down, or the water heater breaks. Those are true emergencies that emergency funds should be used for. So how do you get started? That's a lot of money, like I said before. I know, right? Is it really practical that you can even do this? Well, slow and steady wins the race. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that you start small and you do it on an automatic basis. So $10 a week, $20 a paycheck, $50 a month. Find some consistent amount that you can do on a regular basis, and you will be surprised at how fast that amount will grow to a substantial amount. So how do I do that? One of the ways that you can do that is by going to your payroll benefits department, have a portion of your paycheck deposited into your savings account. It doesn't have to be a lot, $10, $20. The other thing that you can do is go to your bank, have them deduct that automatically, again, on a regular basis, because it has to be consistent. Have them take out $10, $20, $50 and put it into your savings account. Out of sight, out of mind. So an emergency fund, a core foundational piece for you to get on the road to wealth building and financial freedom. If you're ready to come along with me, get started today. It's easier than you think. Max and Denise, back to you.
Again, more great information. And, you know, as a homeowner, this is the kind of stuff that you need to have.
So I know you like the entertainment portion of the show, but I like giving out valuable, again, information.
Yeah, I think
So it's a good balance.
Great. I think it's all valuable. And speaking of valuable, we'll take another break and back with more right after this.
My name is Monshea Harris. I've been working for the water company for about over 5 years, and I'm a lead man here at the water company. The lead man takes a crew out, and we go out and do a lot of maintenance, main breaks, whatever it may be that they need us to do. What I enjoy most about my job is being out with my crew every day, getting to know each other and bonding, and doing something that's going to be good for the community. I run into customers in the community. I try to soothe their minds by just letting them know that we're going to try to get their water on as fast as possible. We're going to try to make sure that we do the best job we can to make sure everything goes right. What I would say to someone that was looking for a career in the water company would be, it's a great job. I think it is one of the best jobs in Louisville right now. I think it would be a great move for anybody that want to come to work for the water company. The reason I chose to come and work at the Louisville Water Company, I was working for the city as a lead man, and I always wanted to come and work for the water company, and they gave me the chance to come work for them, and it's been great ever since. The reason I chose to come and work at the Louisville Water Company, I was working for the city as a lead man, and I always wanted to come and work for the water company, and they gave me the chance to come work for them, and it's been great ever since. The best part of the day is knowing the experiences that I gotta have. Everything that I run into every day is something new. It's nothing old. You don't do the same job every day, so it makes it real exciting. And you're going somewhere different every day, so that's the best part of the day. It does have the best water in the country. If you go anywhere else, out of town, anywhere, if you taste their water compared to ours, our water is always number one.
We've been working with Middletown Cycling, and they have given us some great information. In fact, we've been getting out on our bike more and more. Those Saturday rides are a lot of fun, and they're getting longer and longer. So we went out and talked to Ross and the rest of his teams about some other things you need to know about biking.
Okay, so we're here at the Middletown Cycling, and I have Richard here who's going to accompany me. Richard, welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, so biking is so big, and I'm back on my bike now because I had injured my arm. So I'm loving it. I love the trail that we're using. But, I'm seeing more and more women out there. If you could take a guesstimation in percentages, women to men, where does that fall for women riders?
Women riders, there's not quite as many of them as men, but it's more than you might think. I'd say probably 40% of riders are women. One thing that's really interesting that people in the industry don't really realize is that a lot of women are looking for different things in cycling than the men are.
Such as?
Well, a lot of men, they're looking for the newest, hottest technology, and a lot of women, they just want to go out there and they have great experience. Yeah, and you're not looking to, win race. I mean, there's a lot of women that are really competitive, but there's a lot of women that are just going out there and they're weekend riders. They want to go out there, have a good time, and stay fit. Cycling's a really low impact, great cardio, and it's a really fantastic way to get out.
So for me, being somewhat new at this, one of my concerns was about the attire. And now I just have on a regular t-shirt, and I like this little thin t-shirt because on days when it's really hot, I like it. But some of the other attire like this, I call them cycling type of shirts and attire, and I like the little thing it has in the back. This is a brand that you all carry here at Middletown Cycling called Liv. Tell me about that.
Liv is a really, really, really interesting brand in regards to women's cycling because it's a division of Giant, which is the main brand we sell. But they got together with the Giant folks and they said women aren't being represented well enough in the industry. They're kind of being left out. And Liv needs to be the group to fix that. So they have their own separate design teams, their own separate engineers. They're designing and developing all this apparel, all these bicycles, totally independent from the men's group. They don't just pink it and shrink it.
Oh, great. So I'm thinking for a woman, and you're looking at women's apparel, the rule for buying this, because it is rather tight fitting, what is the general rule as a woman who's looking to say, I want to get me some biking accoutrements and attire? Do you need to go a size bigger, same size? How does that work?
Typically, with a lot of the apparel items, they're made to, like you said, to be a little bit more snug fit. That's not all of them across the board. There's more sporty fits, and then there's more casual, comfortable fits. Really, it's all about coming in and trying on a couple of sizes and seeing which one you like. Typically, you probably want to go about a size bigger than you normally would. But if it feels right for you, if it feels comfortable, then it's the right thing.
For me, in wearing some of the biking shorts, do all the shorts have to come in being real tight, or do you have some that's loose that fits like a regular short? That's my first question.
Yes, there definitely are some that fit like regular shorts. Now, it is very, very common for a lot of women to want the tighter fitting stuff. You think like yoga pants and things like that. They're a little more form fitting. That's really, really common, but there's also a good variety. We actually have some here that they're kind of a skort.
I would like that.
Yeah, so like these right here, these aren't skirts, these are just baggy little bit baggy shorts.
I would like that.
But yeah, we've got several varieties here that they're a little less form fitting, a little more loose fitting, and one of the things that's really characteristic of the cycling shorts is going to be the chamois liner. That's what they call the chamois.
With the cushion.
With the cushion inside, exactly. So, and this isn't just about the padding. It also helps with moisture wicking. It also helps with reducing friction, reducing some chafing, to make it just more comfortable ride. It's a little bit less you get more miles a little bit easier.
Now, I do have to ask this question, Richard, in regards to your saying the lining inside. Most of the lining seems to be in the back in your posterior area, but the bike seat, goes all the way through. Do certain shorts have certain placement of the lining versus other? Because I'm not as comfortable in the front of the seat area as I am in the back.
So typically, like I said, the main purpose of the liner is friction reduction as well as padding. So it's really going to focus in the areas that are contacting the saddle all the time. All the brands that we carry are going to have enough coverage for the entire saddle area, with a lot of special attention paid to the sit bones, because that's where most of that pressure is going to be. I think there are some like online brands that you can get that may have different designs, but the main brand we sell here is Liv. We also have Pearl Izumi, which is a very, very popular brand, and all of their chamois pads are going to be like a full coverage.
Just real quick, because of time, the shoes. I know that's the next big one. Can we just talk about the shoes really quick?
Yeah.
Sizing.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the shoes, we've got all range of shoes, anywhere from like $100 to $400. Just like apparel, and just like regular shoes, they do have different size ranges for women and for men. So the women's shoes are designed to fit specifically for women, and the men's shoes are just fit specifically for men. The cool thing about these shoes is you can actually clip into the pedals. So they've got these bolts right down here. So you get the pedals that go with these, and it allows you to actually attach your feet to the pedals while you're pedaling, and it gives you a much more efficient pedal stroke, lets you go for longer with less energy. Now, that being said, with any of this stuff, if a woman were to come in and try on some of the men's stuff and the men's stuff fits them well, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's perfect as long as they feel comfortable with it. Everything is about feeling comfortable and making sure it's right for you.
I'm enjoying this change of weather. Still great time to get out and get on your bike a few more times.
Yes.
Still can play tennis outdoors. You can still get your walks in.
Yes, and the other thing is, it's the seasons changing and the allergies.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, because he keeps saying, "Why you keep clearing your throat?"
Yeah, yes, that is a
Are you blowing your nose?
That is it. But that's all a part of a change in the season. But speaking of change, we're out of change and we're out of time.
Yes.
And you know what? That's our time.
That's our show.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles.
Bye.
Bye-bye.